Hello, beautiful butterflies, and welcome back to Naturally Graceful. If this is your first time, I'm Nina. In this video, I'm going to talk to you about a situation we may have all found ourselves in. Have you ever watched a YouTube video or followed a product recommendation and didn't have the results that you thought that you would have? Well, I'm going to talk about the 10 factors that could be contributing to the fact that you're not getting the results that you hoped for, and also to answer questions that you guys have. I want you to, for the past 3 videos that I did, I told you guys about some of my favorite hair products, and I want you to know that if those hair products wind up not being a part of your favorites, that's okay. I want you to know that we are all as unique as our hair is, and like I said, the adage that one size does not fit all is very true, especially when it comes to your hair journey. So as much as I want to give practicality and tell you guys what things you can try, how you can do things, I most importantly want you to know that you hold the power to figuring out what works for you best. You're the expert on your hair and your scalp. It will let you know whether you like something or not. But I did put together a little presentation of different things that I want you to keep in mind if you find that either a product doesn't work well for you, or if you're trying to even do a style or do your hair and it doesn't come out the way that you want. So please make sure you save this or even share it to someone else who you know will benefit. And let's get into it. Hello to all those who are joining. So here we go. Actually, let me see if I put you here. Okay, so like I said, one size does not fit all. One product that works for me may not work for you, and vice versa, but this is really a lot of trial and error when it comes to hair products. I'm going to go over these different factors that can affect the that can affect the results that you have when it comes to your hair. We're going to be going over the fact that it can be your curl or gray hair pattern. Your hair porosity makes a difference, the density of your hair, your own preferences of what you like, your hair sensitivities, the hairstyle that you wear, how you use the product, the weather, your health, and our age. Those are all things to consider when it comes to that. And make sure you guys remember that you can leave comments in the comment box so that I can answer for you. So let's go over the first one. And what I didn't include completely in this particular section is the fact that there are some of you here who are Silver Sisters, but you're relaxed. So if your hair is relaxed, that also can affect what products that you use. Not everything, but you may find that what someone who has natural hair uses may be a little bit, you may have different needs because of the fact that your hair is relaxed. So your curl pattern could affect the result of a product. If you have a tighter curl pattern, maybe using a gel might give you more shrinkage than if you use a cream. So those are some things to consider. Your gray hair pattern, if you have more white than you do salt and pepper, that can affect it. I noticed for myself personally that my white hair is a bit more frizzy. It can get more frizzy than the salt and pepper hair, but the salt and pepper hair, from what I've heard from other people also, those little salt strands can be very wiry and like want to go their own way. They want to go this way while your melanated hair wants to go the other way. So keep that in mind when it comes to hairstyles and when it comes to products. Your salt may not always want to play by the rules. And as I said, the hair that has the less amount of melanin may have the more amount of frizz. The next is our hair porosity. The porosity of your hair can make a difference with what products that you use, how you put them in there, how long you keep it on. So this is something else that you want to keep in mind. And let me know in the comments if you guys know about hair porosity. This is something that I learned from watching YouTube videos. I didn't pay attention to it as much. When I first went on YouTube and I learned about natural hair, I focused on the curl type pattern. I also meant to mention from the last slide, you can have more than one curl pattern in your hair. You can have a certain section that's looser than another section. So sometimes even that will affect your results. You may look at somebody who has a tighter curl pattern or a looser curl pattern. Please know that if that's the case, you may have a different result. Higher porosity, it's easy for that moisture for our hair to get in. The cuticles are raised. So we don't have to worry so much about when you deep condition, you may not need to use heat because of the fact that your cuticles are more likely to be opened. Not only those of us who have gray hair deal with this issue, there are those too. When I saw a video from Green Beauty that explained that even when you color your hair or even when your hair is relaxed, whenever there's a chemical process that happens that changes the cuticle, you may have more raised cuticles than the next person. Lower porosity, you're able to maintain that moisture, but it's hard for that moisture to come in. So some of you have asked me before about something called I think it's the Lola treatment or something like that. It's basically certain products that you put in your hair to help lift those cuticles, to help the moisture to come in. So again, those are things that you have to consider when you're looking at a certain video, you're looking at how someone does something. If you have high porosity hair and you do a treatment that's made for someone with low porosity, you're going to have very different results, or it may put your hair at a disadvantage. So that's something to keep in mind. Density. This is something that I am seeing is a really big issue. When I first went on YouTube, I would look at a beautiful YouTuber and be like, oh my gosh, her hair looks so luscious and I'm going to try this. And then I try it with my hair and I'm like, it doesn't look like that. And I start to feel bad. But something I didn't consider was, wait a minute, my hair density is different than hers. I told you guys with my sister, you've seen her, just one of her puffs or little pineapples like could look like what all of my hair is. So you have to keep that in mind when it comes to hairstyles, that it could look different based on the density of your hair. Also what your hair prefers. Maybe if your hair is finer or you have lower density, you may want to stay away from heavier products, and you may want to try things like mousses or things like that. Whereas someone like my sister, she needs creams so that her hair feels the moisture. So that's something to keep in mind. And that leads me to the next thing, which is preference. I could tell you, oh, gel is the great thing for curl definition, and you may not like gel. It may not be because your porosity levels or your density, you just don't like gel, and that's fine. You can use mousse instead. And I want you guys to know that there's no need. Some of you, I feel like you need to tell me, oh, well, I can't use that, or that's okay. If I mention a gel and you're used to using an oil or a cream and you find good results, what do they say? If it's not broke, don't fix it, right? So you are allowed your preferences. You may prefer butters. You may prefer oils. I had a subscriber tell me that oils don't work for her hair, that it actually makes her scalp feel very sore. Now, I'm not sure what oil it is that she's using. Maybe it's a particular oil that's giving her that result, but that's fine. If I use oils on my hair, it doesn't absolutely mean that you have to. Another example, I like to use purple shampoo. There's some of you who don't use purple shampoo, and that's fine. So remember, your preferences are something to consider when you see people give product recommendations for that. Another thing is, you may not want all the store-bought stuff. Maybe you're a DIYer. You want to cook up stuff in your kitchen and put things together. You want very minimal ingredients. That's fine too. Or you don't want, I saw somebody comment on one of my videos. They were like, that's just too many steps. And that's fine if you don't want to do, all of those different steps. You don't have to. Hair sensitivities. Each of our hair is different. Somebody's hair could love coconut oil. Another person's hair does not love coconut oil. Some people's hair tolerates heat better than other hair. Also, protective styles. Those are some things that I mentioned to people that they can try if they are transitioning with their gray hair. But maybe some people have told me their work environment doesn't allow for things like this, or maybe they don't want their edges to have any traction alopecia, so they don't want to use braids. So it's okay. Those are things to keep in mind when you're hearing somebody recommend something for you. How you style your hair. I'm a wash and go girl. Right now, I actually have 4 twists underneath here, but wash and goes are my go-to style. And you might be a twist out girl or a flexi rod girl, or like I said, you may have relaxed hair. Those are things to consider when it comes to products too. There are some people I know who do wear wash and goes, who do wear their hair out, and they don't wear any gel. They just they could just wear conditioner and it gives them a good definition, but maybe they have a looser curl pattern than I do, So again, guys, this is not one size fits all. This is another reason why I love these lives, because you guys give me your product recommendations too, and you put that out there for those, so that this is the beauty of YouTube. You come on here because you're looking for something. You're looking for ideas. A lot of times there may be a lot of products that you guys see, and there may be my go-tos that I have, and then the others, if there's a special occasion, I'm using those. But definitely another thing to consider when you're looking at style results too is how long someone's hair is. Sometimes someone will look at my hair and want a similar look, but their hair is shorter than mine, or their hair is longer, and that can affect it. I will tell you, from the time I big chopped to transition to my gray until now, I'm noticing that my hair does behave differently now that it's longer than when it was shorter. And that's something that you have to consider on this journey. Gray hair or natural hair, your hair is going to change. And we're going to talk about some other things that can affect that change, but you have to be adaptable to it. I think I just got to make sure I remember to mention that in the next one. Let me just go to the comments real quick to see if there's anything that I can answer for you guys. Hello to everyone. Thank you so much for joining. Okay. Priscilla, you say you have a dual hair type issue. The top of your head is more straight and the sides and back are kinky. So that's another example of how you may need different products for different parts of your hair. And some people feel like, I don't feel like dealing with that, but it is what it is. That may even affect certain styles that you do. Like if you do certain styles that stretch your hair, that might make the straighter part of your hair straighter while it stretches out the kinkier part. So you have to deal with each special piece accordingly. Jay, you asked about protein treatments. This is another example. Green Beauty mentions on her label for her protein treatment that I have used that it's good to do it more often than those with low porosity. Whereas I feel for my hair, I do it maybe like twice a month instead of 4 times a month. So again, Jay, what you might have to do, and guys, remember this, we might have to experiment. So try it a certain amount of time, see how your hair and scalp responds, and that could let you know how much. There could be always a fast rule, but I think that it depends on how your hair responds. Okay, my sister's on here. Hi, love. Christy, I did send you a link to a list of the products that my mom uses, www.naturallygraysful.com/gray hair products. So if you could check that out. Okay, good. And Christy, what you're saying too reminds me of the fact that I'm glad I had my mom and my sister. And, my mom uses different products than even I use. My mom doesn't, and Ashley, remind me, my mom doesn't primarily wear wash and goes, does she? I think she does twist outs more. She does a lot of different styles than what I do with my hair. My mom's hair is longer than mine, and it is thicker than mine. It has a different density. So those are things to keep in mind. Product use. And this is something that we kind of learned from the last video or last live that we did, talking about layering of products, how that can make a difference. I still have yet to try that on Jackie's Ice Curl. I think it was called Ice Curls Gel, but with a different layering. So are you heavy-handed? Because some people had talked about flaking before. Sometimes it's not about being heavy-handed. You could put a light amount and it still flakes. But sometimes putting an oil before it helps. But then again, to let you guys know, putting oil before gel is how my hair likes it. You can experiment and see if your hair likes oil after the gel. So definitely keep that in mind, that the order of the products can affect the results that you get too. And as I mentioned here, be willing to try more than once. Don't necessarily say, ugh, I don't like this product. You know, I tried it once. Maybe when you try it again, it might be different. Say you try a shampoo that is not a clarifying shampoo, but you had a whole lot of buildup, used a whole lot of butters. You may not be able to properly tell if that product is really good for you, since you used it on hair that probably needed clarifying shampoo than the one that you use. So that's something else to consider when you are using a product. And I remember too, from the last live, I showed you guys to see if products work well together. Maybe you're mixing a gel with a butter that they don't like each other, and that causes flaking, or that causes certain results from that. So my sister did confirm that, yeah, my mom is a twist out and flat twist girl. Yeah. So again, just letting you guys know that if I'm just sharing my experience, but if your hair doesn't do what mine's does, or you do something different, that's fine. Weather is something else to consider. Do you live in a dry area? And this is something I didn't really think about. And my sister can actually chime in here, because she went a couple of years ago to Florida, and she noticed that her hair behaved differently in a more humid environment. Ingredients like humectants that are in products draw the moisture from the atmosphere and put it into our hair. Sometimes that's good, sometimes it's too much. So again, this kind of goes also into hair sensitivities. Things like glycerin, which is a humectant. Where you live, you might need to do a very different hair routine if you live in Arizona than if you live in Florida. So you could be watching me from that area and look at me and be like, oh, I want to try what she does. And it doesn't give you the same results. And that could be why. That's something to consider. Then we have health. And this is why I definitely, when you guys ask me certain things about yourself, I am looking to do more of a one-on-one consult, because there's so many things. There's just the general video one can do to show you, okay, I do this, do that. But there are other things like vitamin deficiencies, medications that you may take, your hormones, your diet, that can affect how your hair behaves, as opposed to myself. If you're in your 50s and I'm about to be in my 40s, I'm 39. That might also affect how your hair goes. So these aren't things to discourage you guys. It's kind of to help you to be encouraged and to take with a grain of salt everything that you see. I definitely don't want to come on here and act like I have all the answers, because I don't. When it comes to hair, I just do the best to show you my experience, the things that I've tried, in hopes that if you're looking for recommendations or things to try, I'm here to help. But if you're going through hormone therapy, if you have autoimmune issues with your hormones, if you're drinking enough water, that might be why your hair is so dry, or that can even affect yellowing, which I did not know. If you're taking certain medications, it might affect yellowing. I'm going to do another video on that too, about why we yellow, our gray hair yellows. But those are things to take into consideration. If you're taking medication for your health, you certainly wouldn't want to stop taking it, but maybe that's something to consider with why. My sister also can attest to this. She suffers from MS and she gets treatments for that. And she had noticed some changes in her hair based on the medications that she took. It wasn't necessarily anything different with her products, but it just wasn't, working right. So that could be something that you could look at to see why you're not getting certain results or why your hair is behaving the way that it is. All right, guys, this is the last one. Age. Everything, guys, everything changes as we age. And that doesn't just apply to us at this point. It also, my son's hair, he was almost bald when he was little. And then now his hair is much different. I was just talking to my husband about this today. He has certain parts of his hair that are really tight curls, then looser curls. So everything changes as we age. So you want to have realistic expectations and know that your hair is not going to be the same as it was when it was 20. Or maybe you're going through a stressful time. Maybe you just got over, maybe you beat cancer and you just got over certain treatments. Those are different things to consider with the way that your hair is behaving presently. And even us who don't have medications or health issues, if you were coloring your hair for so long before and then you just stop dyeing your hair, you have to give your hair time to learn a new way of behaving. Free from the color. Similar if you went from relaxed to natural. And my sister and I can attest to this too. Your hair, I did the big chop. So, I just thought automatically, okay, curl. Now I have pieces in the back that did, but other areas still had like very small pieces of relaxed hair. And so you have to keep that in mind. Oops. Sometimes I'll be seeing this mic go on red and I want to make sure I'm not blowing out you guys' ears. But that's something too to consider, that you need to give your hair some time to learn the new rules, And at the end of the day, guys, self-acceptance. We can't necessarily, there's some things that we might find that we can do to help our hair be a little bit thicker, to have the illusion of more volume. My hair is never going to look the way my sister's does or my mom's does. And that's okay. Learning to accept how unique that my hair is. And I'm also going to do a video for our fine haired women, things that are actually advantages of having thinner hair, finer hair. So learning to have acceptance when it comes to those things. So this is my message, that besides helping you to practically with how-tos and product recommendations, my ultimate goal is for you to embrace the hair that you have, whatever curl pattern it is, whatever gray hair pattern it is, the density. I want you to know that your beauty is not defined by the characteristics of your hair. I want you to feel loved no matter what kind of hair that you have. So that is the message always. Because another thing that hurts me sometimes is when someone's like, oh, I love your hair. I wish my hair was like yours. And if my hair was like yours, then I would love it. And sometimes we don't always have that option, so it's all about loving the skin we're in a figurative way. So for those of you who do want to know, maybe this is your first time finding my channel today and you want to know the products that I use for my hair, I'm going to put the link in the description of all my favorite products, from shampoos to stylers, that you can check out. And if you guys have any questions, let me move this out the way. Have any questions or video requests for me, you can email me at nina@naturallygraceful.com. You could also check out my website for more content. So now we're going to open it up for the Q&A. Thank you guys for listening. I'm going to take some water now. Felicia, you said, do I have a coupon code for Green Beauty? I do not. If there is a code, please let me know too. I don't have a code, unfortunately, but I did get her real protein treatment and I liked it. I put it in my conditioners. So let me go back to the questions here. Thank you to all of you, Nelia, Joyce, T, Christy, Susan, Sheila, Arletha, Priscilla, Marianne, Carmen. Oh, Torito, remind me of your name. It's good to see you on here. Jay is on here. Hello, Charlene. Thank you for reminding me of your name. Miss Carter, hello. Okay. Thank you. Yes, please give this a thumbs up if you gain some value and subscribe. I appreciate it. You like this topic, Arletha. Okay, you're a wash and go and you use gel the most. What gel do you use, Arletha? And so, Christy, how do you usually wear your hair? Sheila, you said that you're medium porosity and density and you do monthly protein treatments. So you do it once a month, Sheila? And I think you said you use, did you tell me you use, what's that popular one? Please remind me what you use. There's a popular one out there for protein treatments. I can't think of it off the top of my head. Okay, Jay, you just bought the Green Beauty Real treatment. Did you use it? How'd you like it? And yeah, for some people, if you're dealing with dryness and you do a wash and go, your hair might be more dry. So doing your hair in a twist can help to keep the moisture in, like my sister said she does with my mom's hair. But what I notice for myself, like I have my hair in 4 twists right now, it seems like it's good for the first day or two, but it feels like my hair needs some kind of, did I put this? Maybe this is too high up. Hold on, y'all. Okay. Hi, Yumikia. That's a beautiful name. Okay, Jay asks, thank you, Miss Carter. Jay asks, should I clarify more if I use hair grease? I think so. Because I actually just saw a video that was, having issues with my mic today, guys. Okay. I saw a video from Curly Chemistry, I think it was, talking about why she uses grease, Blue Magic at that. And she talks about how if you properly wash that out of your hair, because most people talk about buildup and things like that that can happen from grease, then you should be okay. So I don't necessarily know if you have to clarify, but make sure you're using a shampoo that, and it doesn't have to be a sulfate shampoo to do that, but using something that properly removes that grease so that you can put more moisture in via the deep conditioner and oils and things like that. Ms. Carter, yes, your habits can affect it. If you smoke, yes. That's a good point. Thank you. Also, the things that you eat. Who did I watch the other day? Another person I like. I don't know if you guys know her. I think her name is Kichi Beauty or something. She's a middle-aged woman and her skin is amazing. She uses a lot of things that she finds in her kitchen. And she was just talking the other day about watercress and different vegetables and things that you can eat for your skin. So I was reminded nicely that our scalp is skin. So think about the very things that you would do for your own skin and think about your scalp in that way too. You're welcome, Christy. My sister says she dealt with more shrinkage in Florida. So again, when you think of weather, think of the fact that that can affect certain things. Soon I'm going to be a part of that 40 Club, Miss Carter. I look forward to it. Good question, Christy. I am trying to get my mom back on here. I'm going to let you know. Email me at nina@naturallygraceful.com so that I can have your email and let you know when she's going to be back on, because she's actually going to help me out. Is there anyone on here today who is relaxed? Because someone had asked me a question about relaxed gray hair, and my mom knows both. She didn't do her own hair when it was relaxed, but she knows what it's like to have gray relaxed hair and gray natural hair. Hi, Peaceful Phil, I think it is. Weather is real. You moved from Florida to Colorado and you had to change your total routine and products. Thank you for sharing that. So that proves again. And then I have some of you who are from the UK, some from the Caribbean. So you guys might let me know if the area that you live in, if you found that you need to adjust your routine based on where you are. And think about it. We in the Northeast, if you're dealing with very varying seasons, I may need to switch up my routine more than somebody whose climate kind of stays pretty much the same. Thank you, Felicia. Miss Carter, you just did a video on the best products for your gray hair. Sure, I'll definitely check it out. And you guys could check it out too. Felicia, okay, we're back here. Oh, yes. Okay, but I'll let you know if I find out if there's a coupon code. Okay, Felicia? Okay. I'm going to put this for you, Christy, so that you can see where to look for. I can't think and type at the same time. Gray hair products. So you could check that out, and anybody else who wants to know what products that my mom uses, that is the link. So let's go back here. Apogee, thank you, sis. Apogee is the one that let me see if that's what she says. Sheila says she uses Silk Protein by Giovanni. Okay, it's a reconstructor. And this is something else I'm learning about, all these different names. Reconstructor, mask versus conditioner. Carmen says wash hands. Arletha, you use Design Essentials and Aunt Jackie's Curl Boss. Curl Boss is the bomb. Jay, you haven't used it yet. You're going to use it at the end of the month. Awesome. Let me know how you like it. On the last live, a lot of people were talking about using the Maison 276 three-step system. So I'm really happy when you guys let me know if things work for you or not, because then I can add you to the ones that it does work for. Umikia, gels you use are Curl Boss, Ice Curls, and Wetline Extreme. Okay, so see, here's an example of somebody who likes the ice curls. Umikia, and let me know if I'm saying your name right. Do you just apply the ice curls by itself, or do you add oil to it? I'd love to know. Christy, you wear twists and sometimes braids. Okay. So yeah, you would need different products, probably more creamier products. Then do you happen to know if your hair is what porosity it is, Christy? Arletha, you live in Florida and the shrinkage is real here. Okay. And T, you said you went to Jamaica and your curls were so moisturized and popping. Isn't that something that you could have like completely different results based on where you are? Christy, this is, oh my goodness, I just looked it up. I had to touch it up. This is Boy Trouble from the Lip Bar. You can't see those little words, but this is Boy Trouble. And it's funny because I thought it was a red, but it's like kind of like a reddish orange. I love it. And what I love about Lip Bar's lipsticks is it goes on really wet and it dries so nicely matte, and my lips don't feel tight. I'm able to just like do all of this and it works. The only thing is I have to be careful with the bleeding. Carmen, you're in England, London, you have hard water. Thank you, Carmen. That is another thing that I did not include in the list. That is a factor that can affect your results. Hard water. And the person who asked me on one of my recent videos what 3 essential oils that I use in my little Flairosol, I use peppermint, I use rosemary, and I also use vanilla for scent in distilled water. And for that reason, Carmen, you might, if you're able to get your hands on some distilled water, that might be able to help you. There are some areas that have really bad water that like take a toll, not just on the hair, but even the skin. So maybe a filter is something that you can do to help if you wash your hair in the sink. Hi, Sandra. Nice to see you. Jay says, when I mix the Green Beauty Real Treatment in a deep conditioner, do I keep it? I put it in a separate container. I take like a scoop or so of deep conditioner, and then I put it in a bowl, and then I put like, I think a capful or half a capful of the Real Protein Treatment in there, and I mix it up and I use it all right there. I've never kept it mixed on its own, so you'd have to let me know how that works for you. And I would say start slow if your hair is on the protein sensitive side, and if you notice it didn't do too bad, then you could up it a little bit. Carmen, you use castor oil. That's another example. I used castor oil on my hair before and my hair didn't like it, and I think it's because my hair is so fine. But when I use it, if I did use it, I would use it more so as a like a Prepoo, rather than something that I use after, like to seal in my hair. But that's just my hair. Would you say that your hair is fine at all, Carmen? And Kalina, I haven't seen you before. Nice to have you here. The name of the Prepoo that I have is from Nature's Little Secret. It's a fenugreek detangler. I don't have it with me now, but if you check out the link in the description, naturallygraceful.com/my fave products, I have the links included in the PDF, so you don't even have to type it in. You just click on the link and it'll take you right to the brand's website. I could put that in here too. But that was I normally, or before, I was using Shea Moisture conditioner, the moisture retention conditioner, which I loved. But when I found Nature's Little Secret, I was like, oh, I love this. All right, so Yumikia, you use a leave-in oil, then add the gel on top, and your hair is in a taper cut. Okay, so what kind of oil do you use? I'd love to know. So Christy, you said you know your hair, it drinks up products. So your hair is like my sister's hair. You're welcome, Carmen. You're welcome, Jay. You have hard, dry hair. Yeah. Do you have a filter at all for your shower head? Christy, your hair is thin. Your hair likes... I'll figure out what it was you were mentioning after that. So guys, through the 10 factors that I mentioned in the beginning of this video, which ones would you say for you is a really big factor that affects how products work? Hi, Patricia. Nice to have you on here. I love that each live I get somebody new who I might think is like new, but maybe they've watched before. But thank you for saying hello. And if you have any questions, now would be the time to let me know. But I am going to have someone on here. Her name is Michelle, and her page is called Now I Am Nappy. And she also loves Ayurvedic herbs and very into DIY. So she's going to be coming on Thursday and talking about things that we can try for thinning hair, for dry hair. I look forward to you guys meeting her. So I'm so glad I was able to do today's video, because a lot of you, I noticed the videos that get a lot of traction are the ones about products. And it makes sense, because when I first went on YouTube, or when I first went natural, if I wanted to try a product, I'm typing it into YouTube and finding out someone who had similar hair than me and if they liked it or not, or to see them demonstrate it. And so in the same way, I know for you guys, that's something that would be helpful to see how things work. But I wanted you to have realistic expectations when you try things, to know that, hey, just because it worked for her doesn't mean it'll work for you. And especially when it comes to styles, if you have fine hair, you have thin hair, just have realistic expectations. Okay, your hair likes thick products. Interesting, Christy, because my hair likes thick products too. It likes thick conditioners. I like the Nature's Little Secret Prepoo because it is thick, and that Irish moss, what's the other one? Marshmallow root, I think it is. Like, my hair loves those ingredients that give great slip. My hair is very tightly coiled, so that's another thing to consider. If you have looser coils, then maybe you don't need something that has great detangling properties. Maybe detangling is not as big of an issue for you. Whereas if you have tighter curls, you need some help with slip. So, does your hair like thick products even when it comes to styling, Christy? Arletha, you want to purchase the Green Beauty Real Protein. How would you know if you have a protein sensitivity? Good question. One thing I want to preface when it comes to protein sensitivity that I appreciate that Green Beauty helped me to understand, even if we have a certain sensitivity to protein, we still need to put it in there, because over moisturizing could also cause breakage. Like, I used to be guilty of conditioning my hair overnight, so that leaves your hair soggy. Your hair needs some strength to it. So protein sensitivity means your hair feels very stiff, like it feels different when you put a certain product in it. And I was surprised to find out that certain shampoos, certain conditioners had protein in it, and I didn't even know, even some certain stylers. So I'm going to do a little bit more research on that as far as what ingredients to look out for. I believe things like hydrolyzed wheat protein is one that stands out in my mind. If that's in your product, it may have, because I think that's what the Green Beauty protein treatment is more so made of. But if you balance it with some good moisturizing, so like you take a little bit of the stiffness because you know it'll give your hair some strength, but you make sure you follow it up with a really good moisturizer, then you should be okay. But how does your hair like coconut oil, Arletha? That's something too, and that's a good question. I'm going to do some more research on that to if you guys want to answer too how you know that your hair is sensitive to certain things, that could help Arletha as well. Because for me, when my hair feels hard and stiff, then I feel like there must have been some protein somewhere in there. Christy, yes, you like thick styling products. I'm guessing that's what I asked. Yes, Jay, we need to have a protein moisture balance. So you take a little bit of that stiffness, and then again, like I said, if your hair is protein sensitive, maybe what that also can help you within your routine is you don't do the protein treatments as frequently as someone who can take it a little bit more. Sandra, not quite sure the topic, but you add oil to your conditioner. You have fine hair but not much curl. Okay, that's a great thing too. I think the other day I was gonna get rid of a conditioner, and I thought to myself, I can beef up this conditioner. Actually, I think I was thinking about the melanin leave-in. That's a softener, and some people said they use it as a conditioner. If you add some olive oil or some of the things that we're going to find out next week from Michelle, not next week, this week, Thursday, I think she just made something like a oat and aloe conditioner. So there are things that you can add to your conditioner to like beef up the moisturizing factor to it. So that's great. What oil do you use, Sandra? So if your hair doesn't have much curl, how do you style it? You may have to do more like braids, or if you wanted more of a curl, you might have to do things to help to encourage it to curl. Carmen, you've tried different things for your hair just to get some softness. Right now you're using Revlon products. Okay. Which ones are you using, Carmen? Christy, it does different with different products. Your hair, I'm thinking you're saying your hair behaves differently with different products. Yumikia, you're using an oil by Moisture Love, a finishing oil that has marshmallow, horsetail, avocado. Oh, those sound awesome. Was it you? Somebody else was telling me, guys, if you are looking for an oil that doesn't stain, I'm about to write down, I think it's from a company called Loma. I'm going to check that out for myself and see how I like it. No worries, Kellyanna. That's a pretty name. Okay, let me go and see if I can remember the question I asked you, girl. Oh, the Prepoo. So I was telling everybody the Prepoo that I use is from Nature's Little Secret. It's a fenugreek detangler. And be safe out there if you're driving. Don't look at your phone. Jay Williams, do you need to follow that treatment up with the moisturizing? The Green Beauty, what I like about it is it's not, you basically add it to your favorite deep conditioner. And to be honest, the first 2 times I used it, I don't think I got the measurements right. But the third time, I don't know if it was, I used it with a different conditioner. I used it with what did I use it with? I used it with the Manuka Honey mask. And that was like a perfect combo. My hair felt amazing. Another deep conditioner I tried this past weekend was from Shea Moisture, the Jamaican Black Castor Oil treatment. I think that's a mask too. It has apple cider vinegar in it. I hadn't used it in a while, but that one's going back up into my favorite deep conditioners. Sheila, after you shampoo and conditioner, you do an oil rinse with grapeseed oil and with tepid water. Okay, cool. And then I forgot what you use. I think you just use a leave-in to style your hair. Arletha, you used coconut oil once and you did not notice any difference. It was still soft. Okay, that's good. Because some people's hair does not like coconut oil. So it looks like it's going to have to be an experiment, Arletha. You have to try it and see how your hair does with it. I don't want to create product junkies in people, but sometimes you have to get the product and use it a couple of times and see how your hair likes it. That'll be the only way you kind of really know. And then from that point, maybe based on how your hair acts with one product and it doesn't act well, maybe something to do is take a picture of the ingredients and keep that with you. And next time, if you have a similar result with another product, maybe you'll see which ingredients that your hair is like, not for me. Hi, Marissa. How are you? Good to see you on here. This is another beautiful butterfly who knows a lot about curls. She does something called a gelatin treatment, which I'm guessing, Marissa, you use for protein. I think she takes like vegan. That's what gelatin is, I think. No, there's something else. Gelatin I don't think is vegan. There's something else. What is it called? It gives you a similar effect as gelatin. I can't think of it right now. If I do, I'll put it in the comments later. Sandra, it's gray and you add vitamin E and tea tree oils. You always rock cornrows or a flat twist. Got you. Vitamin E is nice. Tea tree is also good for the scalp. I don't particularly like the smell, but jojoba oil is also good, Christy. Yes. You're welcome, Jay. Let me know how it goes. Carmen, Revlon black seed oil, shampoo, conditioner, and buttercream. Is it Revlon or is it like another, is it like owned by Revlon? Because I didn't know that they had products like that. Yes, you use the direct leave-in. I'm telling you, Sheila, you need to be their sponsor because you keep reminding me. I used Giovanni when I first went natural. So, okay, Christy, you use Cantu leave-in and you like it, right? Because see, that's another example of how I think last week we talked about how some of us didn't like Cantu. Our hair didn't like it. It made it dry. But then you might have someone like Christy where it does work well, unless you were asking me about that product. Do you remember what was vegan, Marissa? I got to think about it now. It's gonna bother me. Oh my goodness. I'm gonna look in my, I think I have it in my Amazon store. Maybe that'll like refresh my memory. It's in pill form, and I used it for like things for my face. It's on the tip of my tongue. That ever happened to you guys where like there's something that you're trying to remember and you can't, and you just have to find out what it is? Maybe it's under supplements. Okay, so you said that gelatin is a good protein treatment. When you were growing out your hair dye. So Marissa is also a silver sister. She's growing out her gray hair. She used to dye it blonde, and it's helping. The gelatin treatment is helping her to strengthen her dyed hair. Yes, Arletha, please let me know. This is something interesting that I might try because I don't drink beer, but I may try it for my hair. Yes, rice water is definitely another good one. And that's easy to be able to use. Thank you, Carmen. You said Revlon Realistic. Okay, I'm going to check that out. Okay, my Amazon store, I'm going to put that link I think should be already in the description, Maggie. I believe it's like, I don't have it offhand, but it's in the description box so you could check it out. Let me see if I found it, guys. I didn't find it in here. Okay, and Kalina, you said yes. Hi, Christine. How are you? Okay, maybe it's under skincare. Okay, I think I'm gonna get it, guys. I'm excited. Agar powder. I found it. It's called Agar. 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 So for those of you who are vegan and you don't want to use gelatin, Agar is another, I think it has collagen in it, that you can use as a substitute for gelatin. And I found out about Agar from Farah Dukai, and she was doing some kind of facial treatment mask with that. I think actually what she used the Agar for is, you ever use the under eye like collagen, like the under eye masks? And if you use Agar, that can give you that same consistency, so you can make your own mix. You could put green tea, what other stuff? I think she used different kind of teas, aloe vera, and you could put that, the Agar powder, you put it in the fridge, cut it into a shape, and then put it under your eye. I feel so much better now that I figured out what it was. Okay, oh, you don't have any dye left. Okay. You have beautiful colored hair, Marissa. Yeah, it's like it looks blondish already. But your hair is more hungry than your dyed hair is. Good to know. You have natural high porosity, and it's always protein hungry. Thank you for that. And that again shows that one size again doesn't fit all, because some people might think, okay, my hair's not gray and I didn't have any chemical process, so why is my hair high porosity? So that's a good that's an example of how, everybody's hair is unique. Sheila, you said a beer rinse is old school. It provides shine, volume to the hair. I'm about to go get me some beer, guys. So what kind of beer? Like just any beer? Or let me know, guys. I'm glad you're doing good, Christine. Good to see you on here. And Sandra, you said yes. Like when you're laying in the bed, you're like, that's what it was. Christy, can I please put the products on there that my sister uses? Okay, you're gonna have to check out my sister, Christy. The products that my mom uses that you're gonna see on that link she uses from similar products. And actually my sister has a YouTube channel. So if you go to Naturally LA, if you go up into the chat box and click on her name, you can go to her page. And she just did her own lives on the shampoos that she uses and the conditioners. So please check it out, Christy. And she also will provide you with what she uses. That's true, Jay. It could be genetic. I didn't think about that. So any beer, let it go flat, use it as a rinse. I'm gonna go get some beer. Hi, Pamela, how are you? That's okay, you're right on time. You're right on time. Look, I know, guys, when I come on here, I appreciate every single one of you who come on here, however it is long that you can stay. You know, I know that you guys have other things. Time is precious these days. So whenever you're able to come in, I appreciate it. Okay, Sheila, you co-signed with that. Who else is going to join me to do a beer rinse? That'll be another video that I'll do. I do not like the taste of beer. Do you like beer, Marissa or Sheila? It's funny, I can't say I don't like wine. I do like the sweet wines like Moscato. But I recently used wine as a sheet mask and that was pretty awesome. So, hey, even if you can't consume something, it's still good for your skin. This is good to know. All right, guys, I'm going to be wrapping it up. She's naturally LA, yes. But it's not spelled that way. So see if you could scroll up, Christy, and click on her picture so that you can get to her page. For some reason, there's someone else who has a similar name as her, so it's hard to find her outright. I'll put a video link of her page in my description after this so that you can reach her page, okay? Sheila, you don't like beer. Arletha, I'm so glad you enjoy our channels. Yumika loves beer. Ooh, you like beer when you're eating curry, probably to like offset it, right? Sandra, you love beer. What kind of beers do you guys like? Is it the one that this pandemic is named after? Corona, I know, is a lot of the ones that different ones used or drank. Heineken was another one. But if I know that I could just go get me a store brand, I will definitely do that. Okay, Christine, cool. T, you will also try the beer rinse. Okay, so I got 2 people who are going to join me with that. I'll let you guys know on the next live. Maybe I'll do it. We'll figure out when we get to the store, when we could get it done. You're welcome, Christy. Budweiser, yes, that's the other one that I've seen commercials for. Carmen, you don't like it, but you'll try it in your hair. Okay, so I got 3. So let me know our national beer banks. Interesting. I never heard of that, Sandra. Oh, that's right, because you're in the Caribbean, so things are different. Bud Light. There's a lot more than I thought. And you know, I don't even know if you would call that a beer. I think they call it a cooler. I like the coolers. So anything that's sweet, I love. So anyway, I want you guys to remember those 10 factors that you keep in mind. I'm glad too, Marissa. Thank you so much for stopping by and giving us the beer rinse idea. Now we have to make sure we have you on. Maybe me and you can do a collab, Marissa, on a beer rinse. Okay, Christy, you're going to hop on too? Red Stripe beer. Felicia, how can you determine how can you determine our beer for me? Coors, yes. Oh, you guys giving me lots of options. I'm going to grab the first one that I could think of. Hi, Marianne. In the 1970s, there was a shampoo called Body on the Tap. It was even shaped like a beer bottle. Interesting. And I know beer, you can use it, you know, besides drinking it, you could use it like with roasts. I think I've heard people do that. Like it helps it to be the meat to be very juicy. So I guess then that makes sense why it can give the hair some volume and shine. You like malts, Christine? Yeah. Sandra's in for the rinse too. You don't have to drink it though, Sandra. I'm not going to drink it. You know, it's funny. My husband doesn't like beer either. We're very similar with the things that we like and prefer. So, yes. So remember the 10 factors, guys. And if you want, I have a blog post about this topic that I'm also going to put in the description. And in that blog post, I add in, I think it was six 6 different factors of things that you can look for when choosing a product. Things like the slip, things like if it will stain or not. So please check out my blog post. I am doing a consistency challenge this month where I'm trying to put up a blog about 20 times this month. And so far I made it the first week. So if you guys could go check out my website, you can see it there, naturallygraceful.com. That would be awesome. Christy, mayonnaise and eggs. Yes, I have heard of that. That's another one that we can go into. We could go into DIY because another conditioner I want to try is sweet potato. Did you guys see the video from Natural 85 where she used sweet potato in her hair? So, okay, Torito, you've used it in your hair. Okay, Felicia, I think the spell check is working now. How long do you allow the beer to stay in, and do you do it before the wash? Good question. Marissa, if you're still on here, could you answer that question? And if not, I can get in contact with her and I'll find out. I'll put it in the community post to let you guys know how you could go about that. Arletha, you've used it for beer. I mean for meat. Okay, great. There was something I was just about to say and I forgot. I was going to say thank you guys who gave this video a thumbs up and who subscribed if you're not subscribed already. Again, hi Wendy. How are you, love? Christine, you've used mayonnaise and eggs. I haven't used eggs in my hair yet. I feel like that would make, I've used, I think it's called ORS. ORS has a mayonnaise conditioner. That one, my hair loves, like, it loved it. I haven't used it recently since it's been gray. The sweet potato deep conditioner, right? So we're going to get food, drinks, all kinds of stuff up in here. Kellene, you've used Sprite. That's very interesting. Okay, Marissa's back. She said you could either do it as a pre-wash or a final rinse. Okay, good to know. And I'm guessing you just use the beer, Marissa, or do you dilute it with any water at all? I'm glad you're doing good, Wendy. Christy, thank you for the question. I am going to open it up to everybody because I know it might have been Danetta. One of you beautiful butterflies talked about wigs that are available, some realistic looking gray wigs. I don't remember the website, so if you guys know that, please put it in the comments for Christy. And I'll try and do my reconnaissance and see if I could find where it was. Okay, Marissa, you said the bowl method. I'm guessing I think I've seen you do this before, Marissa. You basically fill a bowl of the liquid and you dip your hair in it. It might be a little bit different for me because your hair is looser than mine, so I could try it and see how it goes. You said you squish the beer into your hair, you leave it for 10 to 20 minutes. That sounds about a reasonable amount of time, and just the beer straight. Cool. So you can either use, guys, the beer rinse before you wash your hair or after. But I'm definitely going to look into that more. That was a really great resource, Marissa. Thank you so much. Goodly, you are afraid of fenugreek. Interestingly, it didn't stain my hair any more than it usually, it didn't make it any more yellow. Now, I think it's when you use fenugreek on its own, because I have seen the powder. It does look very potent. But in this detangler, the detangler is like a grayish, actually, color, if you look at my other videos. Marissa, you mostly use the bowl to catch the beer. That's a good point. That's a good point. Torito, your older sister used mayonnaise and eggs in your and your niece's hair. Hi, Patrina. What to use to get your grays, to get back your grays from constant dye? That's a good question, Patrina. That is something else that I actually want to cover because a lot of people ask me, what different options do you have? And I believe you guys could let me know, but there's like 3 major options. Either you dye your hair gray, which means you remove all the color from it and then you put a gray dye on top. There's also a temporary option. I've used some vegan hair dyes that wash out of your hair. You can cut it off or you can grow it out. And when you grow it out, Patrina, it will turn different colors. So I know that might not sound like something you want to do, but as far as I know, those are the three options when it comes to going gray. Either you dye it all one color, but that's a long process from what I've seen if you want it to be done right. There is another video that I will put in the description from Katie Goes Platinum. She had a subscriber who tried this dye technique so that I guess her hair didn't look as skunky. So I'll put that in the description for you guys too. I'm going to go do that now before I forget, because you guys know how my memory is. But thank you so much, everybody, for coming on here. You gave some really great insights, and I never... Kaolin clay, lighten your grays. Yes. I don't know about lighten it, but it keeps it bright. Because it's already white, it's a really great and soft cleanser. So it's great for the hair. But please continue to put your questions even after I'm done with this video so that I can answer it in the next live and next video. So look out for this week's live with Michelle. Again, I thank every single one of you who have come on here. I appreciate you guys so much. And those who didn't catch the beginning, go back and you could check out the 10 things to consider about why you're not getting the results you're getting and have realistic expectations. And then please check out my blog post at naturallygraysful.com for more tips when it comes to what to look for when you're purchasing certain products. Okay, guys, I appreciate you all. I'll see you on the next one. Bye.